weeks in a row. Can't ask for much more than that, can you?
Yeah, I don't know. The game just got over 12 or 13 innings, maybe one hit. He did walk 2 batters, but I think he was just gassed. He got north of 80 pitches, just tremendous. Good feel. It doesn't feel gimmicky. It feels like a good fastball, and even the elevated fastball plays at times because there's enough command. Curveball, slider, change up to some righties. Just nice job. Just experienced, great teammate. Just a savvy guy with enough stuff. So that felt great. Really, if I'm just looking, there was a lot of balls hit hard, both sides, and they went to gloves, and there was tremendous defense, way above average, especially on the left side of the infield. The 2 shortstops, if you respect or have any feel for baseball, that's about as high level of shortstop play you're going to see on both teams. Just incredible. I thought each made more than one play that just, been in the game for a long time. And you're like, wow. And that was credit to their guy and to Cole Foster as well. And, not churning as enough because of that defense. Neither team could really link up and get multiple guys going and start passing it down, creating offense. But I guess for us, the difference wound up being Bryson Ware once again.
So UAB, 8 innings, 8 different pitchers. Just how hard is that to prepare for, and what do you tell your guys to try to get them to come back better?
Yeah, I think the first 4 guys had less than 5 innings on the season, so that'll happen some. Some of the midweeks that'll start trending that way, and you'll start seeing some of that. To their credit, now each of their guys come out and they had a pretty good feel for the strike zone. Nobody come out there and it took a couple of batters before they had a feel of things. So different looks, some lower slot guys, some right-handed, a couple of lefties mixed in there as well. So I thought they did a nice job. It seemed like when they got to the middle of the lineup, they'd go a little slower. And then get to the bottom and there's a little more velo. I thought they did a good job of mixing and matching. And at the end of the day, I think they felt like that was probably a good way to attack it, and it looked like it. So you just, one at bat at a time. That's the whole deal. A lot of times we, a one time through the lineup, second time through the lineup. Sometimes somebody's got to really be rolling like Tommy. I think that's the first guy we sent out tonight to start over the 3rd time in the lineup. He was out of gas when we got to that point.
Right.
How'd you like his first work at first base?
Yeah, it was good. He had a cue ball. That was one of those tough ones, 3 unassisted. We played a little popcorn with it, but got the out. Good. I was watching throw around the inning. They had runners at second base a couple of times. Was he going to be in a block or a read? Thought the communication came from Nunemaker. Good to Irish. There was a good understanding. I thought when left-handers come up to the plate, Hall a couple of times, that there was communication to the pitcher to get over. So I thought that was great as well. And it was good to get Bobby back. We're not 100%, but we're getting pretty close enough that we could DH him tonight by that 3rd at bat. That was a huge sac fly for us, and he hit that ball on the screws. So him knocking in a run, the timing of hitting is like something you have to do every day. So I was glad to get him back in there and get going. So on both fronts, Bobby and Ike, I thought those were wins for us.
Do you think there's a way you can work Vail into the weekend? Is that something you all might want to do down
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
I know I'm not the sharpest tack in the box, but he's done an amazing job.
Yeah.
So those are 2 really good starts. We liked him, and I think we're in a little conflict there because he can do what he did tonight, and that's probably going to win the day. But initially, we had advertised him as maybe like that Carson Skipper type guy to that bullpen. So if we do that, you got to go plug a hole somewhere else. But just commanding the mound peacefully, competing good finish to his ball. Him and Nate getting in a great routine. That's with Joseph being out, that's about as good of clean of an outing as we've had. Period.
And Joseph, was he able to throw a bullpen today?
Yeah, he threw today. So we'll keep charting. It looks like we had talked about wanting to throw 2, so that would probably put this weekend in jeopardy. But we're happy to report that he was back throwing, so we'll keep ramping him up. So this was day 1 of ramp up and feel good about it, and see when we can see how he feels tomorrow after really throwing for the first time in a while, and see if we can work toward that second one. So we'll be working toward a second bullpen instead of announcing him as a start. But He's pitched in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Not many of our boys have done that before. So we're going to take what we can get and bring him along as his arm is telling us.
To have such a complete outing on the mound, I know it's only from two guys, but as you kind of early in the season and moving pieces, plugging holes, just what does it mean for the staff to be able to have that complete of an outing? I guess.
Yeah, we're sitting in our team room here, so we've been clicking at the tires pretty hard, and trying to be honest and loving our players, I love some culture pieces because of our good leaders, old leaders, trying to not make an excuse, but if you're replacing 5 guys that went the top 12 rounds, it's like there's a little urgency to it. So I think the pitching staff, at least these back-to-back, these last 2 games, are at least walking off the field like we helped our team win. And they can do that for these last 2 nights. And hopefully there's some confidence starting to build there. So you got to keep it very real with pitching staff because they're the ones that are center stage. And that has to be good to be consistent, be competitive. So I really feel like they banked these last 2 games of like, man, we're starting to figure some things out and some good things are starting to happen. So I'm happy for them. All those guys are really staying in it pretty good. They've taken I wouldn't call it criticism. We've outlined problems, and it's like instead of wallowing, let's pursue solutions. I think I'm starting to see some of those solutions come into play.
Jason.
How valuable is just a road game, a true road game going to Jacksonville State to kind of get you prepared? You've been to Huntsville, but to have a game away and do that, how valuable is Wednesday night? Yeah,
in somebody else's park. So it'll be the first time we've done that. And then like UAB, I mean, look at this game tonight. That's a pretty high level baseball game, and you're going to get it. State of Alabama. I would tip my hat not only to Jacksonville State. I know what to expect tomorrow night. They beat us on our home field last year. And I think that's the only midweek game we lost within the 10 weeks of SEC play. It may have been before, but I just don't remember losing many midweek home games. So we still have 2 teams in our state undefeated, and we have like the UAB, and we've already played UNA and Troy, South Alabama, Jacksonville State tomorrow night. Man, those are, if you ever have a chance to win those games or win those games, they're huge. Tonight was huge, and with it being spring break, we got the double midweek. So, we've got to reset, get right back at this tomorrow. Spin a couple of bullets tonight, and we've got 4 more games this week. So it will force us to keep unveiling some bullpen pieces. Some young guys are going to be in the mix that held up Sunday, and hopefully starting tomorrow it'll keep holding up.
All right, thank you, Coach.